like the
Right, exactly.
Happy
That's so
birthday. That was
funny.
very nice.
Very nice.
Very nice, yes.
Had 2 tickets like that.
Well, that's great. I bet you'll get another one for dinner.
Here's your staff.
I bet you sit right here at the head of the
Y'all
table.
bring the singers? Y'all the singers? If you
We'll
write
follow
the
your
song.
lead.
Come on in.
You're the boss lady.
You want to sit down, Daddy?
Happy birthday.
Look for there.
You,
She brought you some M&Ms.
I got some more down at the house, in my room. I want some more.
That's her favorite, so.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna sit
All
down
right,
here.
y'all ready? All right.
And you want to get
We're gonna sing happy birthday to Pops. Ready? Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Pop. Happy birthday to
All right. Now, I know that the women would not let me ask that, but the men usually do. How old are you today, Pops?
I'm only 89.
89. That's fantastic. That's fantastic.
Anybody beat that?
Anybody here older than 89, he asked?
90.
Oh.
Ah, she got you beat.
92.
Oh. Good
Wow.
for you. That's wonderful.
There you go.
We have a lady upstairs that just turned 104.
Whoa.
You got a little ways. Wow.
And she still plays bingo with me.
I never met her.
I know. All right, well, tell them where you're from.
Where am I from?
Yes.
I was born in Deckard, Tennessee. That's a little suburb of Winchester. I was 12 years old, I think, when we moved to Akron, Ohio. We lived there for a long time. Then I married this lady. She's gone on to the Lord now. Anyway, we lived in 2 or 3 different houses in Ohio. And then she was originally from 12 miles from where I was born. But I was older than her. And I never met her until fate would have it. And we got married. We had these 2 right here. And then he married her. And they had 1, 2,
3. The third one's in college. He couldn't make it, sorry.
Oh, okay. So anyway, so that's kind of the routine of.
And then Kim married.
Lee.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, then Kim met, and she married Mr. Greenwood, Lee Greenwood. And that's it.
What did you do for a living,
And
Pop?
they got 2 boys.
No, they have 2
Oh,
boys.
yeah, you got 2 boys.
Good. What'd you do for a living?
Well, I went to, my dad worked at B.F. Goodrich. And he worked hard all his life in the rubber shops. And he decided, and I didn't decide that right at first, but I became a machinist. I worked on little things, big things. And then we got the contract for the torpedo tubes for the atomic submarines. And we got that contract for that, and the precision was so precision. A woman's hair is usually 3/1000ths of an inch. We were working within 1/1000th. Tolerance, keeping everything together. My friend and I, we had the only air-conditioned machine in the shop because they came and built an air conditioner around it so that we'd never shut it off at any time because the tolerances would go crazy. Well, I did that for a long time. I'm trying to think. It's hard for me to think.
You're doing great, Daddy.
You spent a couple
It is
years.
for all of us.
You spent a couple years in the army too.
Huh?
You spent a couple years in the army.
Oh yeah, I did that too. And, I did, matter of fact, I was on the crew that fired the first atomic missile from White Sands. And it was the Redstone missile. If anybody has ever seen standing outside of Huntsville, the big Redstone missile, I see your head shaking. So they trucked it from Redstone. You will.
Somebody's coming in. Go ahead.
Okay, they trucked it from Redstone Arsenal, and it was so big that a crew of soldiers went ahead of everything and took down lights,
Electrical.
electrical, everything. And then another crew would go behind it and put them back together. Little did I know that Mr. Kustoff had been beating his.
Gavel.
Well,
No, the shoes.
No, it was the
he took
shoes.
Shoe,
shoe
oh.
and he beat on the table about the USA, and we finally got that missile back up.
Where did it land?
Huh?
Where did it land?
Well, I'm just-
Okay.
I'm kidding. Don't rush the story.
Now,
Sorry.
The most important part, but it took us about 2 weeks to get it reinserted. We got permission from Canada and Alaska for it to come across their airspace. We should have known at that time where it was going. Because it laid down in the Berlin Sea. It went completely across Canada, went into the Berlin Sea, 2 miles off of Russia. Mr. Kustoff was beating this table.
That was very classified for a lot of years. It was just declassified not too long ago.
Yep.
Well, anyway, still lived in Ohio. And I met this lady, very pretty lady. And she didn't like me at all. Well, first of all, I was late getting over to her uncle's house to take her and show her a little bit about Akron. Too late. And so I called the next morning and he said, I always called him Uncle Archie. Anyway, he said she was driving and she left here this morning about 6 o'clock. So I thought, I'm lost the connection there. So I knew she was a nurse in a little hospital in Huntsville. And I knew she was having her tonsils out that day. So I went to the florist shop and I asked, will you send exactly what I write down? Will you send it to her? And they said, exactly whatever you write down. I was in love. Had never been there before. Anyway, I wrote this little saying. It said, you notice I'm only sending you 11 red roses. You take the roses and stand in the mirror, and you're the 12th rose.
That did it, huh, Dad?
So we
Sneaky
started. I'm sorry. I was.
Oh.
You're fine. They ain't going nowhere.
I was still in Ohio, and she was in Tennessee. And we conversed. And first one thing led to another. And I would go down to see my grandmother, who lived with about 10 or 15 miles of her house. And I would see my grandmother, and then I'd go see her, and she had to come see me at her uncle's house. And so the day we got married, okay, let me back up a little bit. Say we were married by Rex Lombard, who was the founder of the Cathedral of Tomorrow, 5,000 seat auditorium. And Rex said to me one day, we were on a first name basis. He said to me one day, he said, Jim, you have dated every girl in this church. One of these days I'm gonna marry you and I'll do it for free. Well, we had a 5,000 seat auditorium, but we had about 500 people in it. And he never charged me a dime.
Wow.
The big cross was in the, she wanted it blue. And it was a beautiful blue cross and so forth. But anyway, so we lived in in Ohio. She was born. You born in Ohio?
Yeah.
I thought you were.
Mhm.
It's hard for me to remember everything anymore, but anyway, I got an opportunity to change jobs completely, and I took it, and I became the #1 salesman for a pharmaceutical company. And that's when I started making my notation of what I wanted to do. And I would go into doctor's offices with my hat and boots and so forth. And they got to the point where they knew me as Tex. I could be sitting out there with 2 other reps, and they'd send Tex back. Because they knew that I didn't have enough sense to talk very long. And anyway, I became a really good pharmaceutical salesman until I retired, 30 years.
Yeah.
There you go.
And then the company went to pot. It did. I don't think I had much to do with it.
That's a pretty good story, Pop.
Got the full story.
Yep.
And that's the whole story in a nutshell.
There you go. I think everybody enjoyed the story. I said I think everybody enjoyed the story.
All right. Thank
Yeah.
you for sharing with us. All right, in honor of Pop's birthday, we have cupcakes, we have root beer floats, and we have games.
I think we also
Yes, yes.
we also have a
Hi,
presentation. I
everybody.
Let me
think.
video it.
Mr.
Yeah.
Payne knows me, he saw me last week.
Yes,
My
ma'am.
name is Pat McMahon. I am the chairperson of the Cumberland Valley Quilters Group, Quilts of Valor Group. And we're here today, besides your birthday card, to recognize Mr. Payne. And there's never a charge to the veteran other than I get a hug.
When did I get to call Mr. Payne?
Okay, Jim. But today, his children are gonna wrap him in the quilt, but I will share his certificate. And Kim gave me your real name, so it's on here. It says James Parker Payne, United States Army. The Quilts of Valor Foundation wishes to recognize you for your service to our nation. We consider it a privilege to honor you, and though we may never know the extent of your sacrifice and service to protect and defend the United States of America, as an expression of our gratitude, we award you this Quilt of Valor. And they are gonna hold it up so y'all can see it, because people get mad if we don't let them see it first.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Isn't that beautiful?
And they get to wrap him in it.
They want us to bring it to you.
Yep.
Oh, I'm sorry, they.
You're
wanted to
fine.
see it.
Yes, it's-
There you go.
Isn't that beautiful? It's all army colors too.
I have, instructions on how to care for it.
Okay.
And when I started doing this, I did it with Restoring the Warrior Heart in Dixon, Tennessee, and the guys were coming down from Clarksville with their kids, so I made them pillowcases to take the quilt home in. Then the guys that weren't in Clarksville wanted a pillowcase, so this is gonna be your pillowcase to put your quilt in or put on your bed, and it's all Army stuff.
Beautiful. Wow, thank you.
And I get my hug. So move this quilt out of the way.
Thank
She
you.
wants one too.
Can you guys get next to him for a picture?
She deserves.
Y'all get it?
Yeah, I'm videoing, so you're
Yeah,
good.
me too.
Together.
Take pictures?
What?
Brenda's taking pictures, I think.
got it, Brandon?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
And every time you cover up with that, it's a hug from a grateful nation. So
Isn't that
keep
sweet?
it on your recliner, your bed, or whatever, or whenever you need a hug, just pull it up on you.
That is so sweet. Thank you.
It is. It's a beautiful quilt.
You are more than welcome. I appreciate all your service.
I only spent 2 years.
It don't matter. My husband is a former Marine, and what he told me, when you put your name on that piece of paper, you go wherever it tells you, for as long as he wants you to go.
Yeah, that's right.
As long as you did it, you did a great job. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's so sweet. Thank you.
Oh, you want my picture with him?
Sorry.
You gonna get it? Oh, you wanna get one of these?
You're not gonna leave this party. All right, Kim, come on over. Get on the other side.
Okay.
See, you're good.
Oh, that's a good one. Look at that.
Now get one with all y'all too. Come on, let me take.